This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Wahid Invest, revolutionizing halal investments. Hello and welcome to Freshly Grounded. This episode is brought to you by Wahid. Wahid Invest. Wahid Invest is brought to you by Wahid Invest, actually. Not just Wahid, Wahid Invest. Wahid Invest is a super cool platform that can be used by pretty much anyone and everyone. As long as you have £100 in your savings or £100 anywhere really, you can upload from as little as £100 onto your Wahid account. And what Wahid do is they invest your money for you into halal businesses, into commodities, and so that your money isn't basically gaining interest. Instead of interest, you're actually investing your money, and you are making money back from it, inshallah, but not through interest. So instead of putting your money into a savings account, you can put it into Wahid. Because when you put money into a savings account, you have to kind of figure out how much the interest is that's raised on it, and then after that you have to donate that interest to a charity of some sort. And Wahid basically gets rid of all of that, but it also invests your money. It's a long-term investment. It's not just something that, you know, it eradicates interest for your savings, but it's also a great investment. Also, if you're planning to save your money to go somewhere like Hajj, or you're planning for a car and you need 5, 6, 7, 10,000 pounds, putting your money into Wahid could be really cool, because your money is separate. It's a bit less accessible because it's not in your bank accounts. You upload it to your Wahid account, and then you can pretty much withdraw it whenever you like. So it's a good place to put your money for that. And why not let your wealth build wealth while you're at it? Money makes money, huh? To check out Wahid, just go over to freshlygrounded.com/Wahid. That's freshlygrounded.com/WAHED. Wahid have helped people all over the States put their money into halal portfolios, and now they've come to the UK. You can sign up with as little as £100, get your account approved instantly, and you're ready to go. So check them out at freshlygrounded.com/Wahid, and also find out more about kind of, you know, the halalness and all the questions you guys might have. They have an FAQ system on their site which looks into it and can tell you the answers. But little things like, for example, how do we know the businesses are halal? Well, they have a Sharia compliance board, and they have other boards that kind of look at other compliance boards that look at whether a company is dealing with itself in a halal way, if it's making decisions in an ethical manner. So yeah, really cool. Check it out. Also, guys, just to let you guys know about our Patreon account. We have a Patreon account, which is basically you can sign up and subscribe from £5 a month. And what that does is it gives you benefits of Freshly Grounded. So things that you don't normally get if you're not a patron, you can get. Like, you can get every episode 1 day early. So you get the audio for every episode on a Thursday rather than a Friday. You also get all of the episodes ad-free, so you don't have to listen to these intros. And that's if you just head over to Patreon. That's patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. You can sign up, like I said, from as little as £5. And if you sign up to the next tier, you actually get a free Freshly Grounded mug. So there we have it. Also, the episode is brought to you by Qibla Tours. That's Qibla Tours. Guys, Hajj is around the corner. Before we know it, it'll be Hajj season. What is it, like August? And so we should all have the intention to go. We should have the intention, you know. If we can't, but we should try and make that intention if we're able to. And Qibla Tours is a Hajj company, and they've been doing Hajj for years. I think like over 25 years of experience of just every single year going to Hajj. The Sheikh Mahmoud, who's our teacher at Badr, he runs the business or the organization, and he's literally, I think, gone for like 20 years in a row. So really, really trusty hands. It's 5-star hotel in Medina, walking distance in Mecca, transport covered, flights are covered, and it's actually the cheapest deal I've seen so far for Hajj. It's £4,595, about £4,500, whereas a lot of the other packages are looking about £5,000-6,000, and you can pay a deposit of, I think, £100, and that's it. Your seat is confirmed, and you can after that pay monthly. So check them out at qiblatours.com. That's QIB. I was about to say Qaf. That's QIBLAH tours.com. Or you can go to 2019hajj.com. That's 2019hajj, which is HAJJ.com. Check them out, guys. And yeah. Lastly, our guest today is a brother called Thareak, who I met many years ago. But as you'll find on this podcast, we haven't actually met each other physically many times. But we met a few years ago through Muslim Bilal. Actually, no, we met through social media. And actually, that's how I met Muslim Bilal, actually, through Thareak. That's actually an interesting story that we didn't go into. But yeah, really cool guy, really cool conversation. We just kind of had a bit of a chin wag, nothing major. It was really fun, a nice little chat. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. And lastly, before we get into the episode, guys, we have a huge announcement coming up for Freshly Grounded, a massive announcement, and it's our biggest announcement yet. And I can't announce it just yet, but it's big. So guys, make sure you're keeping an eye on our social media, on our Instagram, on our YouTube channels, because we're about to announce something, and I've made it really obvious now. It's probably what you're thinking. So please, maybe comment below what you think it is. Yeah, do that if you've managed to get this far into the intro. And if you don't want to hear these intros, patreon.com/Freshly Grounded. Guys, without any further ado, this is Freshly Grounded. Let's get into it. And welcome to Freshly Grounded, the brand new podcast by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Huh?
I said welcome to Freshly Grounded,
After that bit.
the brand new podcast
And after that bit?
by best friends Faisal and Sam.
Really?
Yeah, as long as I leave here for like 8, I'll be alright. How did we meet? What? So I hit you up, did I?
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. What was that?
When you was doing Izaha.
Izaha, okay.
Yeah.
So what happened?
That's when I had the group in it with my brothers, with my little brother,
Yeah, I remember that.
and you hit me up for some hats.
I hit you up for some hats.
Yeah.
Oh, to give you some hats?
Yeah. And I said I'm in London, recording.
No. Really?
Yeah. And then we met.
What? I had heard of you on social media.
I think so. Yeah, obviously.
I'm really struggling to like drink this coffee because I don't know. I've positioned the mic. We're like 87 episodes in, yeah. And in every episode, pretty much I've drunk a coffee. Yet for this episode, and we've always used the same microphone for this episode, I can't figure out.
Are you normally on the other side?
No, normally I'm on this side for this. How do I normally drink a coffee? I think I don't while I'm talking.
I've never seen you with a coffee on your podcast.
You never have?
No, I don't think
really? I mean, a coffee is such a small amount of time, isn't it? We're in the podcast 2 hours. Okay. I think we're ready to begin.
Yeah.
So we met when? So I was doing Izaha, and you
That's
were...
when I think you
you had the
started
group.
doing Izaha then.
You had the Nasheed group.
Yeah.
And then I must have seen you online.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think
messaged
that's
you.
when you started your YouTube channel.
Okay.
It wasn't the channel that I remember. Your first video was a little 2-minute video about Izaha.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember
That video. And before you released that, that's I think when we met, because I went into that was the first time I went into the studio. And we had, was it breakfast?
We had breakfast in Sainsbury's Cafe.
Sainsbury's, yeah.
Sainsbury's Cafe in Acton.
That's it.
That's 3 years. Now, that must have been...
It's more than 2 years.
I think it was more than 3 years ago, because
Let me see how old...
I started the next phase, which was the first podcast in September 2016, I believe. And we're now in 2019.
Yeah, it's definitely 3 years at least.
And I think I started YouTube in January 2016. I think. So we would have met around that time.
Yeah, before that.
Early 2016 we would have met.
Easily.
Almost 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
You know, bro, my relationship with you is so weird because we don't see each other often. We've known each other for, let's say, around 3 years now. Yeah.
Met 3 times.
No.
Including this time.
No.
I think so.
That's not true, bro.
It is.
We met that first time.
That first time. Then on my wedding.
Yeah. On your wedding. Yeah.
On my wedding.
And then
the other day.
the other day.
Yeah, in Oldham.
Don't tell me we've only met 4 times.
This is the 4th time.
No.
Yeah.
See, that's what's weird because my relationship with you feels so weird because
Oh no, we had another day as well where
Yeah,
you
we
came
must
to the
have,
studio with me.
yeah. Must have.
Me and
bro.
Muslim Bilal, you was in the studio with.
Okay.
That you recorded my video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that video still up?
Yeah.
Really?
It's good, man. It's there. I think it's on 120,000 views now. Alhamdulillah.
Really? Bro, Nasheeds get a lot of views, man.
Yeah.
In it, because people just really listen to them.
Depends. I don't know. I don't listen to it no more.
Do you ever feel scared with your nasheed? Like, I could either be doing something really good or really bad.
No.
Because it's tough, innit? Like, come on, it's a bit tough, the nasheed industry
is.
game.
You have to be.
It's a very thin line.
That's why I don't personally call it nasheeds. I don't think I'm a nasheed artist. I speak mostly about my life. Do you understand what I mean? So it's not nasheed. Like when I hear nasheeds and that's like, it's more generic. And it's like, for example, Omarisa, Ilyas, or any other nasheed artists that you know, they're very generic about what they say.
Ilyas in the UK right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
You was with him?
He was with him last night, yeah. Well, not last night, the night before.
Guess where I met Ilyas?
Where?
Ilyas, how do you pronounce his last name? Mo?
I don't know.
Mao.
I never asked him.
You work with him?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to ask him because I was gonna say he's gonna watch. I'm not gonna say what I thought his surname was.
What did you think it was?
I can't say it on.
He seems like a very nice guy.
He's top guy, man. Top guy.
The guess how I met him? So I was training in Pure Gym in Acton or something, like in Ramadan.
Yeah.
I don't train there at all, but but it's Ramadan, so you got to go to 24-hour gym, innit?
Yeah.
And so I signed up to that for like a month, and this guy comes up to me and behind me, he's like, "Oh, hey bro, like I've seen some of your stuff," and I was like, "Oh, cool," and he's like, "I'm a nasheed artist." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." He's like, "Yeah," and I think he mentioned that he's like done some work with Muslim Blau. He's like, "I'm from Canada," and that's really cool. We got a bit of chatting, and he seemed like a very nice guy.
He's a top guy.
And since then, I've seen him some more online and stuff, and he's I said again, seems like a very nice guy. But before all of this, we were talking about how we met. So yeah, my relationship with you feels weird because we've met maybe maximum 5 times in person, but known each other for over 3 years. Yet I feel like a very brotherly bond towards you, and perhaps that's just Iman. Like that's just like the beauty of Islam, that you really do feel like brothers with the people with your religious brothers.
Yeah.
Like people who are Muslim and your Muslim brothers, because I feel comfortable enough around you to like see you as an actual brother. Like we've only met 5 times, but I feel so comfortable.
Talk about anything, right?
Yeah, and also like if you text me, it's not like, oh, I have to like be like ultra polite because it's a person who I don't know. Not that you should be rude to people who you know, but when there's people you know, you talk to them in a different way because you're very comfortable with each other. Like with my brother, I could text my brother and say, "Yo, have you done this?"
Yeah.
Whereas if it was someone I'm not familiar with or I've not met too many times, you have to have like, "Hey, hope you're well. I just wanted to ask you something quickly." And but with
the
you,
whole introduction of the text message, yeah.
And with you, I feel like I could be like, "Oh, yo, by the way,
I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm there."
Why is that, you reckon?
It's God, innit? I reckon.
It must be that, you know that hadith about the souls. There's certain souls that just like connect.
I don't know. If I'm totally honest, every single person that I've met since I started practicing, I've just felt like I've known them all my life. And I've only started practicing 3, 4, 5 years max.
That's the beauty of religion.
And since I started,
you haven't been practicing 5 years, but you've been practicing more than that because we met 3 years ago.
Yeah, and that's when like a year or so ago before that I started practicing.
Oh really?
Yeah. But before that, well, during that time, since then, whoever I've met, I feel like I've known them for a very, very long time.
Should we talk about Nasheeds again?
Go on then.
Do you think it's a bit of a touchy subject?
It is, because there's so much. That's why I don't associate myself with the word Nasheed, because
nothing wrong with it.
No, there's nothing wrong
with being associated with Nasheed, I guess.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But what I do, I wouldn't class it as a Nasheed because of the fact that there's such a thin line between what's a Nasheed and what's not. For me, what's a Nasheed is something that's it's uplifting, it's very positive, very catchy, something that your children will listen to, and something that, is there instead of music. That's how I see it. And it has, like, most of them, they're all singers and stuff, but I don't sing. So first of all, that's not a Nasheed if I'm not singing. For me personally, other people might say it's a Nasheed if they're doing what I do in it, but I don't sing. For me, knowing Nasheed artists since I grew up, everyone's been a singer. Zayn Bika, Sammy Yusuf.
Would you say you're more of a poet?
Yeah, but then I wouldn't even call it poetry neither.
Spoken word artist.
I don't even know what I'd call it. They're just my thoughts in it, and they're
Your
just
thoughts and you rhyme them.
they just rhyme. Yeah. So yeah, a poet in some sense, but poets, and again, poets, they do use a lot of wordplay. If you understand what I mean, they do.
Yeah, do you use wordplay?
Not a lot. I use like now and again I might do, but most of the stuff it's just like it's like I'm talking, but then it rhymes.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't really. When I write, I don't have to think about what I'm gonna write, what's gonna rhyme next, what words I can use, what metaphors I can use. I don't think of that when I'm writing. I just write and then it just happens. I don't know. It's quite weird, to be fair. But yeah, it's not.
Ah man, it's tough, man.
It is.
It's the I think like the game of like spoken word poetry and stuff. Only a few people have been able to smash it.
Yeah.
And then there's obviously Nasheed artists and there's so much that it goes into, and it's tough, man. I used to listen to a lot of Nasheeds when I first started practicing, and I started listening to podcasts after a while, and I didn't, but then every now and again I'll hear a Nasheed that like I'll like, and then I'll play it maybe for a bit.
Yeah.
But I don't love listening to Nasheeds.
See, for me, I don't listen to Nasheeds very often. I play it here and there when my daughter's around, because it's just something alternative to music.
Yeah.
But I don't personally listen to it a lot.
You know one thing that I really like is if you go to YouTube and you search like Muslim Bilal story or something, there's this video that he did with Ira on he at a conference.
Yeah.
And it's like a 10-minute long like piece of poetry where he just but it's his story from when he wasn't a Muslim to when he converted to when he like gave dawah to his mum and his mum converted, and that's really powerful.
But it's all in a poetic form.
I like listening to that. That's nice.
So my stuff is like that sort of. It's not.
It is.
It's my like obviously the video that I've got out. I think that was just me trying to get into the crowd.
Right.
But it's not really me. What I'm about.
We met in Manchester once, by the way.
Where?
When we were on the Halal Dining Tour.
Oh yeah.
We went to Toro's, I think. Where did we go? Toro's?
Yeah, Toro's, yeah. That King Prawn, mate.
Yeah.
We met then.
So we did meet.
Yeah.
Sorry, I keep going off topic, but I'm just thinking, I just remembered that, and I was like...
So that's 6 times in 3 years.
That's mad.
That's mad.
How's that brother doing, Naeem?
He's okay.
Have you seen him?
I see him here and there. They're at uni now, so my brother and him, they're both at uni, my younger brothers.
Did they go to the same uni?
Did they? I think so. Yeah, I think so. But they're both at uni now, so they're both...
Because he stopped Nasheeds, didn't he?
Yeah.
For religious reasons.
Yeah.
As in he believed that they were a bit iffy.
Iffy, yeah.
Mm.
What we was doing, it's there's too much interpretation.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Man.
It's hard to even go into it. Like I definitely don't want to go into it, but because we're not people of knowledge, you understand? But but you can understand those who say, look, there's two perceptions, there's two sides of this like thing, and you can completely understand the side where people say, look, we do have to create an alternative for the Muslim youth because let's be honest, a lot of them are listening to music.
Yeah.
And then which is completely, you can't fault that. You can't fault the argument. And then there's another argument that's like, if it sounds a lot like music, even if it's not using music, is it
music
dangerous? Right. And so when both of those perspectives make so much sense,
it's confusing.
we have to step out and just let the students, the people knowledge deal with it. It's tough, man. Yeah, and
for me,
like I said, that's why we have people knowledge, I suppose.
Yeah, for me, how it works is basically that I'm on this thing where this helps me because, like, I struggle until now. I struggle with music because music was such a massive part of my life growing up. It influenced every aspect of my life. Every single thing. I'd have a song for different. You do that, innit? When you're growing up, I don't know how much.
Yeah, and you set like a certain song will set you in a certain mood and stuff. Yeah. But do you think that do you think that if you was to, do you think that rather than finding a solution, rather than finding an alternative to that for yourself, not for others, I'm not talking about I'm definitely not talking about like the whole Muslim community. I'm not saying anything bad about any Nasheed artist or anything, because like I said, I listen to Nasheeds. I still listen to some Nasheeds. I was actually listening to a Nasheed this morning, I think, or last night. that's beside the point. My point is this: is that for yourself, talking about you used to be really into music, right? Before
Yeah.
you're practicing, do you think that instead of trying to find an alternative for music now, that that you should actually try and find a solution? And the solution is to like actually figure out how to not even need to hear something that can.
Yeah. Nah, but the thing is, we live in a world, well, in the surrounding that we're in.
It's true.
You drive, you go into a shop, and then a song that you listened to 10 years ago will be playing.
Yeah.
And then, you know what, you've not heard music for 2 months, 3 months, whatever.
Yeah.
But then that song will stay in your head for 2 weeks and you'll hear yourself singing that song in the shower.
That happened to me very recently.
And it just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens automatically, whether you try it or not.
That's a good point.
You go to, you go to a restaurant, you go to
You're about to say
shopping,
McDonald's.
McDonald's, restaurants, shopping centres, wherever you go, it's playing.
Get a little McFlurry.
Do you
You know they do mini McFlurries now.
I seen it the other day. Yeah.
Did you get one? Have you had one?
No, the last time I went to McDonald's, I had that millionaire latte.
Ah,
That was peng.
bro, I had that and had the worst experience with it ever. Guess what happened? I don't think I've talked about this on the podcast before. Oh my days, bro. Right, so I'm going to Iman Channel, yeah? It was a Wednesday. I'm presenting at 9 o'clock, yeah? Cool. And then, so I did what I'm doing now. So I tend to leave the office. What I do is I obviously finish work at 5, but on a Wednesday, I'll probably stay a bit later because I've got Iman Channel, so I'll maybe get some work done. So I leave the office now at 7:45ish or 8 o'clock because that's the time I tend to leave, and I have to get to Iman Channel for 8:30, yeah, because the show starts at 9. So I left now, and I must have got to, and there's no McDonald's on the way, but I was really wanting a coffee because I'm gonna be up late, blah blah. So I was like, all right, let me grab a coffee, but there's no McDonald's on the way. The easiest thing is for me to get drive through because I'm running a bit late.
Yeah.
I'm already gonna get there for like 8:40, which is a bit tight. But no, I'm already gonna get there for 8:30, which is that bang on time, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no McDonald's on the way, except from there's one right next to the Iman Channel Studios, but that's not a drive-through one; it's a high street one. So you got to park up and get out.
All right. Okay.
So I've been driving for half an hour now, not seeing a McDonald's. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna have to roll out and get one. So it's now like 8:25 or something, or 8:30. Come up to 8:30, and I'm thinking I shouldn't do it, but I'm gonna. I was like, here's how I made the decision. I said, if there's a parking spot outside, then I'll park and get one. And then so I'm driving and I see a parking spot. I'm like, all right, that's me. I'm getting one. I get out now. I go to McDonald's and I'm like, I really want to try the millionaire's latte because I haven't tried it yet. It looks really nice on the posters. I want to get one. I walk in, bro, and I had the worst experience of customer service in a long time, and I hate bad customer service. I can't stand like rude customer. I don't know, man. Like,
Yeah, standard.
yeah, I'm probably not the best. I paused there because I'm probably not the best myself. However, where I used to work in retail and stuff, like they put a big emphasis on customer service, right? And face-to-face customer service is a bit different. Like, obviously, sometimes you can get bad customer service on email and stuff, and things get misinterpreted. But face-to-face in a retail environment, you can't really go wrong. And so I went there, and no one's serving anyone, yeah. So I go, and there's no queue. So I go stand by the till now, waiting for someone to come to me to serve me, yeah. I can see a load of McDonald's workers not doing anything, yeah. So I'm standing there. And I was starting to get annoyed, bro. And I didn't want to like be vocal about it because loads of people in the restaurant. I didn't want to be like, excuse me, anyone, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just stood there patiently. But I'm thinking, wow, time's running out. I'll go get to the studios. And then, so what I started doing is, this is like my technique when I don't want to speak, yeah. I started just staring. Like, I tried making eye contact with anyone. So anyone who I'd catch, I'd stare. And because when someone's making eye contact, it's very hard to avoid, innit?
Yeah.
So I caught someone's eye. Still no one's coming up to me. Eventually, in her own time, yeah, the lady who decided to serve me finally came up to the till with it. She hasn't looked at me once. At no point has she looked at me, yeah. So she walks up to the till, still hasn't looked at me. I not looked at my eyes, not looked at my face, nothing, yeah. She's looking like down or whatever. She walks up to the till, okay, she hasn't spoken to me yet. She still hasn't spoken to me. And so I say, and she hasn't even looked at me, okay. So I say, oh, hi, can I get a millionaire's latte, please? Fam, this is what happens. She still hasn't spoken to me. She puts it into the till, yeah. So she walked up to the till just expecting me to speak without saying hi, like how can I help? What would you like? Or anything. I could have no idea what she's doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, hi, can I have a millionaire's latte, please? Puts it into the system, and then obviously, I have this McDonald's coffee token, yeah. I get so many coffees, yeah, from like drive-throughs and stuff, that I just thought every 6 coffees you get free coffee. Why not? So I had one of them, innit? It was filled up, so I was like, let me just pay with that. Oh, because they run out on the 31st, I think, and it was coming up to the 31st of December. Anyway, I'm really longing this story out, but it's a podcast, so who cares? She hasn't spoken to me at all. She hasn't looked at me. I said, can I get me a latte? She puts it in the machine, and then I say to her, she hasn't told me how much money it is or anything, yeah? So then I say to her, oh, by the way, can I pay with this?
Yeah.
Still hasn't looked at me or spoken to me. She turns around and she like, for argument's sake, let's say her manager was called something. Her manager was called like Stacey or something, yeah? She turns around, she goes, Stacey. Stacey comes, yeah. Like from the other side of McDonald's. She's like, looks around the corner, like, yeah. She's like, he told me after. I was like, fam, like, bro, she hasn't acknowledged that I'm a human being yet. This whole time. Bro, I'm not even saying she hasn't looked at me in the eyes. I'm saying if I was in front of you, she hasn't looked at me once. Like, at me. Or even around me, bro. Yeah? So, this whole thing's going on. I've gone, can I pay with this? Still hasn't looked at me. She just, instead of turning around, she's gone, Stacey, he told me after. I'm like, so now Stacey comes to the till now, yeah? She looked at the till and she goes, and then this is the manager, bruv. Manager hasn't even looked at me. Manager's like, all right, look, this is what you do in this case scenario. This is what you do, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, all right, cool. She avoided that. Because but she obviously done the till as if like I was going to pay by card or something.
Yeah.
She does it. And the card that I wanted to pay with, the like voucher thing, was on the till, or was on the platform, I think. And she hasn't looked at me. She's like, void not. She's like, she takes it, and that's it. But that's it. Nothing happened. She didn't speak to me for the entire process.
How long was that time?
That was a very long time, bro. Like in all that time, imagine I asked to order, it got wrong, the manager had to come down, this and the other. But even after it's all done, bro, she didn't even still say, okay, that's done now. So I don't even know if it's done. You know what I mean? So then she walks away and does something at the back, yeah? So I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Because the thing is, what's on my mind right now is just that I've got to get to Iman channel. I'm running. So it's now, because by now, bro, it's like 8:35 or something. I'm meant to be there at 8:30 for my brief, but the show goes live at 9. And alhamdulillah, because I've done it enough times, it's not the worst case scenario if I get there at 9. It's just a bit like unprofessional, innit? I should get there at 8:30. Bro, that's not even the end of the story now. So now I go to the bit, yeah, where they like you collect your item.
Oh, okay.
But at this bit, that's where the coffee machine and stuff is, so I can see what's happening, yeah. Bro, listen to this. Now another lady is making my item, yeah. I'm right there. You can't avoid me. The distance between me and the person who made my coffee is like between me and you. There's just a counting between us. So she starts making a coffee, and the girl who served me now comes up to the woman who's making the coffee and goes, something like, because it wasn't in the system now, because I paid with that. She was like, it's not up there because he made it, because he told me after. And I'm right in front of them. I'm still being like, oh, he like this and the other. So then now this other lady, she's like, all right, cool. This other lady starts making a coffee now, yeah. Fam, she starts making a coffee, and it's a millionaire's latte, obviously. So it's got what? The chocolate cream. The chocolate cream in it.
Yeah.
And it's got the caramel sauce, yeah. All right. So she's making my coffee, yeah. Well, she makes the coffee in the machine. So she presses the button, the coffee goes in. Then it's time to put the cream in, the chocolate cream. Yeah. Which, bear in mind, yeah, I have been seeing this coffee for months now, or for weeks, on my posters outside my house, on the bus stops, train, everywhere. So I'm like, all right, I really want to try this millionaire's latte. I want it as I see it. All right, so I'm in front of her, yeah. She goes to grab the chocolate whipped cream now. There's no chocolate whipped cream. Okay? But I'm there, bro. I'm in front of her. As she goes to the other lady, she's like, where's the chocolate whipped cream? She's like, oh, I think it ran out. Try the back. So she goes to the back now. Clearly, there's no chocolate whipped cream, so she comes back. There's no chocolate whipped cream. None of them have looked at me or spoke to me or been like, oh, sorry, sir, by the way, there's no chocolate whipped cream. So do you mind if would you prefer like normal cream, or should we not put any cream in it? Or how do you want to do it? Because you ordered a millionaire's latte, which comes with chocolate cream. Yeah? None of this happened. Not even acknowledged I'm a human here. Bro. She goes to the regular cream. The white cream, yeah? And she puts that on it. Now, it's calm, but that's not what I ordered though. Like, maybe say, oh, sorry sir, there's no chocolate cream, so I'm going to put the normal cream in it. Is that okay? None of that, bro. She's trying to pull the wool over my eyes. Oh, he won't notice, innit? By the way, I know this is such a minor, like in a grand scheme of things, this is such a minor, and like this, like people suffering all around the world. So I get that. I get that I'm like being very, very, but I'm just speaking about the customer service. No one can deny it's appalling customer
That's
service.
bad.
Fam, so she puts the normal whipped cream in. Bro, even then, yeah, it gets worse. Basically, what happened when she put the coffee in the coffee machine, the coffee overflowed over the cup. She must have selected large coffee or something. So now there's sticky coffee all over. And bro, it had the caramel in it. So it's now sticky all around the cup, yeah? And I'm watching this happen to me, yeah? I'm watching this happen to the coffee. She still hasn't seen me. She probably doesn't know I'm watching. Then she puts the cream on. And I'm like, have you ever made the millionaire's latte? Because she puts so much cream on, it goes all the way to the top. I'm thinking, when you put the lid on, it's all going to come around it.
Right, yeah.
Lo and behold, bro, she gets the lid, she puts the lid on the coffee now, and all of the cream just pours down the side of the coffee cup. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what is she gonna do now? Because I would remake the coffee. Because I'll think, right, for the customer, they're gonna have a sticky coffee cup. It's gonna be horrible for them to hold. So I'm gonna give them a new coffee because it's just at least pour this into a new cup, something in it.
Yeah.
She just thinks to herself, wow, I'm just gonna get away with it. But she probably doesn't clock that I'm looking. Bro, so she's put the lid on now. There's cream and sticky coffee all around the coffee cup. Bro, guess what she does? You tell me what you think she does.
I know she handed it to you.
No. She cleaned it, but try and imagine how she cleaned it.
What, with her hands?
Mm-mm.
With a cloth? She just wiped it down.
If you was to clean it, how would you clean it?
Oh, well, I wouldn't clean it in the first place. I wouldn't.
Right, but
give it you,
if you decided that you was gonna clean it, how would you have cleaned it?
I don't know, some tissue or something. Innit?
Right, some clean tissue or something.
Yeah.
This woman grabs a J cloth, fam, and you can see the J cloth is dirty, like because it's like a J cloth, bro. It's like a damp J cloth that's been used probably to clean countertops or something.
Yeah.
Dirty J cloth, and starts wiping all around the coffee cup to clean it off.
Oh, nice.
Bro, I'm shocked watching this, bro.
But did she hand it you, though?
Huh?
Did she hand it to you?
After that, it's basically, they put it down. They put it down in the middle where all the food goes before it gets handed. And I said, "Excuse me, that's my coffee. Can I just grab it? I'm really late." Because by now, bro, I'm worried that I'm not gonna make it in time for the actual show to go live. So I took the coffee because I had no choice, bro. But I watched over the whole procedure, and I can see, I can see that the lid was clean in it. So me drinking from the lid is not a problem. She didn't wipe the lid. However, the cup, so I'm holding a sticky, dirty J-cloth cup back here. I'm drinking the coffee from it. And also the order's not even right. And the entire process, not one human spoke to me. Or, actually, forget if spoke to me. No one looked at me.
That's crazy.
How bad is that?
That's bad.
That is bad customer service.
But
and when she gave me my coffee, she didn't even say, "Oh, by the way, there was no cream, so I had to put
Yeah. That's crazy.
Bro, that took me about 15 minutes to explain that story.
But you know what though? The exact same thing happened to me the first time I ordered it.
Well, when you got the millionaire's latte?
The first time I ordered a millionaire latte.
Yeah, tell me what happened.
It was drive-through. But the difference was I had my wife with me. Same thing. Regular. I got it.
Yeah.
I went to the drive-through and she brought it out and I opened it and just saw regular cream. But I'm a nice guy. So I wasn't going to say anything.
Nah,
But
man.
my wife ain't having none of it, mate.
Yeah, cool.
She just looked at the coffee, looked at the woman and went, "This is not a millionaire latte, take it back."
No.
And she took it back and she come back out with another one, same with the same cream, and she goes, "Sorry, we haven't got the chocolate cream."
Bro, no one had it.
And then she was like, "Yeah, but if you didn't have it, you should tell us you haven't got it.
Of course, bro.
Why am I gonna want if I wanted a normal latte, I would have just ordered one. But we wanted the chocolate cream. Give me my money back." My missus got the money back.
And the coffee?
Nah, we didn't take the coffee. Didn't want it because I didn't want it because I'm not a coffee drinker. I wanted the millionaire latte. I didn't want a normal latte with normal cream and just a bit of toffee syrup on it. I didn't want that.
The only difference is that it's chocolate.
That chocolate
but
cream,
it's more
but
the
it's-
concept.
Yeah.
It's just the idea that
I would have just ordered a regular
bad.
latte, innit? If I wanted normal cream, I would have just ordered a regular one. But I wanted the chocolate cream.
But I'll tell you where else the customer service is bad, bro.
Now McDonald's is horrible. That's why now in McDonald's, they've got that prepay thing on your card.
Yeah.
I prefer to do that.
I've never experienced bad customer service at McDonald's really but it was that specific one. Bro, I'll tell you where else bad customer service. There's this postal office, not a post office, but like a postal office that where you collect your post, if it's not being delivered and stuff. And bro, on this post in this office, yeah, there's a sign where there's you're here and then there's a glass and then there's the other person. Yeah. Because all these people are like rude and violent and stuff or whatever. Probably because they want their packages, etc.
Yeah.
So bro, there's a sign, yeah, that says like please do not be rude to our staff. They are here for they're here to help you or something like that.
Yeah.
So it has a sign that says please don't be rude to our staff. But bro, they make it so difficult because they're rude. And it's but I went there today, yeah, to grab something, and I was like, listen, I know this sounds absurd, but you guys have my package, but I don't have a card, like a postal card for it to say that, like, sorry, you missed your item. But I know you guys have it because we run a business here where we're constantly receiving items, and for some reason in our business block, they don't leave cards for us. So there's never a card like, sorry, we missed your card. But that's where it ends up because we get enough packages that I'm constantly there picking up my packages, innit?
Yeah.
So I was like, and for some reason, every time I go there, there's a new person. So I was like, look, I know it sounds absurd, but I know you guys have a package. I just need to get it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And I understand that's a bit weird, but if you ask me, look, have you got ID or, how, then we'll figure it out together. But I'm being nice, maybe be nice back. Bro, this is the response I get. No, it's impossible. We don't even do that here. Like, that's not going to happen. Like, all this kind of stuff. But I'm like, he's like, oh, let me get Bill from the back. Bill, and I'm like, bro, how about, oh really, okay, that's weird. That's annoying that happened. Like, you have to assume that the customer's right, innit?
Yeah.
So like, oh, that's annoying that they don't leave the card. Okay, look, have you got a tracking number? Have you got some ID so I can see it? And let's figure this out together. But straight away it's like, and then I was like, because he was like, no, we're not gonna have blah blah. I said to mate, listen, I know it sounds weird, but can you please just check in the back? Because the chances are it's here, because it's always here.
Yeah.
He goes, no, because it's not. Oh, I'll check. Like that. And then he went checking. I'm like, but it's so difficult for me to not be rude to you. Like, because you're being very rude to me. Like, well, how are you going to go, oh, fine, I'll check that. I haven't done anything to be rude. I'm literally just a guy trying to pick up my package. And but where I used to work, if we were ever like that with a customer, we'd get fired.
Standard. Where'd you work? Apple, innit?
Yeah, because the level of like their customer service has to be almost. So if a customer had come in and was like, because we used to get frustrated customers, bro, because obviously their phone would smash or something, and then they'd be like, my phone smashed, I paid £700 for it.
Dead meat.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I paid £700 for a screen. Why can't you guys just like replace our screen or something?
Yeah.
And so obviously they're angry, but you can't be like, oh, fine, I'll ask the genius if they can fix your screen.
Yeah,
you have sorry, I completely understand. It's very annoying. I know it's annoying. It's completely out of my hands. What I can do is I can have a word with the geniuses or see if we can get you booked in for today. But these are the options that I have for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But saying like, oh, fine, I'll check to see if there's an appointment. Not gonna work.
You know what it is though? I think it's obviously the big companies, their customer service is good. And what I've noticed is, especially from an Asian perspective, I don't want to be like rude to anybody else, but we're quite good at hosting people.
Asians?
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. Bengali, maybe it's a Bengali thing. Like, we always like, whenever we got people around, or say, for example, we're having something or doing dinner or something.
Yeah, I get. You're right.
Go out of the way to make people feel comfortable.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's instilled within us. So when somebody's not doing it, maybe it's normal for them not to do it. But to me, it just annoys me more because I'm used to it. Like, for example, like when I've had guests in my house, that I've had to behave in a certain way around these people ever since I'm little. So when I'm going outside and to the outside world, it sort of rubs off. You have to behave in a certain way to people, like, especially people that you don't know, innit? Like, if I know you, then I can be like, you know what, wait. Like, if you came in, Apple, if I came in, you can just be like, you know what, wait, come back next week. And I wouldn't take, because I know you, innit? Well, if you didn't know me and you said that, I'd be like, what do you mean? Who are you?
I agree. I think perhaps it's more of a Muslim thing than an Asian thing, because I think because a lot of Bengalis and Pakistanis are Muslim, perhaps it's been derived from there, because I know
manners is
bro,
manners,
Islam,
innit?
look at how
You know what I
much
mean?
Islam teaches you to like honor the guest. Bro, a perfect example is Tim Humble, who we had on here last week. He's obviously not Asian at all, but bro, the way he treats his guests when you go out over there is different. I've heard stories of people who've gone out there and Tim Humble's found out that they're there, and the way he looks after them, bro, like, and he doesn't need to, but he's like, oh no, they're here, they're in my country, like, I'm gonna look after you. And so it's amazing, bro, like, to see one of the things that's amazed me a lot, there's a few things that amazed me a lot about Islam when I started practicing. One of them was the brotherhood.
100%.
Like we always discussed, it's different, bro. Like, you walk into a mosque and you can feel that everyone here is my brother.
Yeah.
And the way people speak to you is as if you've known them all your life.
You
walk into a mosque, be like, oh, Assalamu alaikum, bro, can, like, do you know this? Oh,
like, yeah, cool, come this way, let's go, yeah.
Akhi,
Mad.
Habibi, I mean,
That's it.
amazing. The brotherhood, I love, Akhi, and you really feel like, you know what, this person cares about me, but not just for this life, but the akhirah, like, or this person is like, they haven't got any agenda, like trying to make money off me. So that's one thing that I found amazing about the deen. And the other thing that I found was how Islam honors the guests, and about how Muslims should treat guests. Amazing.
It's mad,
bro. Like, bro, that story about that the I think it's that Sahaba who, I might get this wrong, but I believe it was a Sahaba. He had a guest around his house, and they weren't very wealthy, but because his guest had come, I think, I don't know if the guest was the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or if it was another guest, but there was a guest in their house and they only had enough food to feed the child, right? Their child, but there was a guest, and so they put the child to sleep early, so instead it didn't have dinner, and they turned off all the lights in the house, and then they gave the guest the food. And then they put their cutlery, they got cutlery, and they was like clanging and banging the cutlery to pretend that they was eating, to make noise as if you're eating. Not to lie, but to honor the guest so much so the guest doesn't feel awkward, like, oh, I'm the only one eating. But and to make sure, look at how Islam honors the guest. Amazing. That's how you should be treating the people that come into your house. So
100%, man.
I find that amazing, man.
100%.
I feel like that's the one thing I probably slack on the most.
What?
Like even today, like you
Hosting
walked in,
hosting people.
Yeah.
Nah, you're busy, innit? You're in an environment. Would you be like that if I was at your house?
No.
There you go.
Yeah.
You're working, man, innit? I didn't
It's
expect
tough,
you.
yeah.
I didn't expect you to walk in and say, "I have a cup of tea ready for me." Like,
I should though.
nah, you're working.
Are you hungry? On that note, shall I order you some food?
No. I'm alright at the moment, man. Before I came here.
Alhamdulillah.
But yeah.
Alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah.
How long are you in London for?
I'm going tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, I'm going tomorrow. Tomorrow evening.
Do you like
I've been here.
Do you like living in Manchester?
Yeah.
What's nice about it?
It's, you know what? I love London. I'm here quite a lot. Yeah. Got married here. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But London and Manchester, they're two complete different like lifestyles. Manchester's like, it's busy, but it's not hectic. London for me is hectic. Like today, it took me over an hour to get here. And
London's
it's like
very hectic.
It's like a 10-mile drive. It took me like hour and a half. 10 miles is 10 minutes in Manchester. Doesn't matter how busy you are. Maybe half an hour max if it's a rush hour. And you can get to the other side of wherever you need to go to. It's just the travel in London. I always say to myself, when I'm going to come here, I'm going to get a tube. But then I can't bother getting on the tube. I just prefer my own space. So I end up stuck in traffic all day. But
yeah, 2 hours of my day is travel.
Traffic
every day.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I came here. Well, these ends. It took me about an hour to come here in the morning.
It's mad, bro.
It took me an hour to get back.
I live in West London, and my my office is in West London. Yet it takes me about an hour in rush hour. So when I go home, and I obviously I work in rush hour times. So I'm getting to work for 9 and I'm leaving at 5. So bro, when I leave at 5, it takes me 1 whole hour to get home, and I live in West London.
That's crazy, man.
And the office is in West London.
It's crazy. That's the only reason I couldn't. Well, apart from what's happening now with all the knives and guns and London's blowing up with all that stuff, man. Apart from that, travel is the only thing really.
Bro, it's insane, the knife crime. But do you know what happened?
The knife crime is mental.
I heard this morning on the radio. I don't listen to the radio often, but I put it on this morning. That I think today or yesterday, a guy got stabbed because a guy got stabbed to death. I think yesterday in London, and we haven't even hit double digits. We're not even on the 10th of Jan yet, but well, at the time of this recording, and London's like murder rate is already through the roof.
It's crazy. It's
Bro,
crazy.
I can't remember what happened. Let me try and find it online.
That's mad. Like, not even that last year, man.
It's bad in up north though as well, isn't it?
It's not as bad. It's
Really?
bad, but it's not as bad. This London is getting, the way it's increasing, the rate it's going at is crazy. The rate, like, everywhere's increasing. Violence is increasing, crime's increasing, but the rate that London's, maybe it's because of the population or whatever, but the rate is phenomenal, man. It took over like New York or something last year, didn't it? For knife crime.
What's that?
Like, it took over New York or something.
No.
For knife crime. And London's like not even a quarter of the size of New York. Like, New York is like probably as big as half of England.
That's mad.
And just London alone took over New York or something. That's insane. And I don't know, when you got kids, it's different, innit? Like, you need to weigh out where you're gonna live. You're gonna live somewhere where you're gonna be successful, but then because you've experienced that and you've passed that, but then you put your kids at risk. Because like, now I've got a girl and a boy. Before I just had a girl, I had one worry on my mind that, you know what, my girl's gonna grow up, she's gonna bump into some lads, and these lads are gonna, do you know what I mean? Every teenager nowadays, what they're up to and whatnot. But now I got a son, I'm thinking to myself, how am I gonna keep him away from that side of life? The streets, the roads, my daughter, like, I always used to have this worry in my head. My daughter might turn 16 and come home and tell me, yo, dad, I'm pregnant. That's one stress. That's real. Right now, it's a real stress.
Wow.
Yeah, that's been happening since the day my daughter was born. She's 8. She's going to be 8 this year. And since she was born, that's the only thought I've had in my head. Like, what if she comes home one day and says that to me? What am I going to do? But then now I've got a son.
You have quite a fiery personality as well, don't you?
Yeah, but I'd never be. There's nothing I could do in it. There's nothing you can do in those scenarios except for be there for them, innit?
Man,
it's crazy. But these are when you have a kid, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, my son was born, then when I had my daughter, I was thinking, man, I wish I had a son, because I wouldn't have this stress.
how old are you, bro?
30.
Still a young dad, bro. 2 kids,
Alhamdulillah.
You're quite public about your relationship with your daughter.
Yeah.
And
there's only one reason for that, though.
no, but it's beautiful to see.
Yeah.
And I know you don't love it. I don't. You're not the type of person who likes put themselves out.
Yeah.
But but seeing your relationship with your daughter is amazing. It's so beautiful to see, because you really do. You're really able to see the love between the father and daughter here. And may Allah bless it. I'm not trying to put no ayn on it. And may Allah put barakah in your relationship, with all of your children. But how much did your perception of life change as soon as you had her? Like, did your life stop completely? Were you thinking, that's it, my life has gone from being about me to just about a completely different human?
Pretty much. I wouldn't say straight away, but like, before she was born, so 7 years ago, I was in a complete different place. I was the typical, roadman. Yeah, I was out on the roads, partying, life, blah, blah, nothing. Islamically, I had no clue. I just, no idea of God, no concept of nothing. I just lived a life of, what do I say, meaningless? Is that the word? It was just meaningless. I just, one thing to another, and that's how I was living. And then, when she was born, like, I hadn't prayed or anything like that in about 6 years prior to that, like, prayed or even opened the Quran or anything like that. But when she was born, I had this inkling inside me to recite the adhan to her. Like, I never thought of that while my ex-partner was pregnant or anything like that. But I had this inkling. So when I recited the adhan to her, wallahi, no word of a lie, like, still now, like, if you saw my t-shirt, my hair's just, she smiled when I recite. And that's when, like, it hit me in it, like, deep down, that there's a God. Like before that, I always questioned if there was a God. I always questioned. Yeah, I grew up in a Muslim household and all that, but I always questioned it because my life was being lived in a certain way, it wasn't what I wanted to live like, and I was living a certain way. So I always used to question it. But after that, I stopped questioning it. So I didn't completely flip my life around, but I stopped questioning the existence of God. And then over that period of time, I started learning and started educating myself and looking into different things and trying to figure out and try and get close to God and stuff like that.
So that was triggered by you
Her
seeing the
birth.
smile on your...
Yeah. Her birth made me realize that there's a God in it. Like, obviously I knew deep down there must be some sort of thing, but the adhan made me realize that Islam, that's the truth. Because like, when she came out, the nurse said, it's all right. She was asleep and she had her eyes closed and stuff. I was like, it's all right. They don't open their eyes for a few hours. Sometimes they don't open their eyes for a day or 2 days and that. But she opened her eyes and smiled at me, bro.
Was that the first time she opened her eyes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, she didn't open her eyes when she was born. So when she was born, she gave like a little cry. And then that was it. She was quiet. And the nurse was like, oh, she's a lazy baby and whatnot. She might not open her eyes for a few days. It's all right. It's normal. And then they passed it to me. And then I recited, like I whispered in her ear and I looked at her and she opened her eyes and she smiled. And I like, that's when it hit me, and it like proper hit me, like, this is the truth now, innit? And I can't hide from the truth now. And then that's where the whole sort of journey sort of began, really.
It's amazing to hear that, because you do see, when you see a child, you do reflect on it and think, this is a miracle from Allah.
SubhanAllah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's the craziest feeling. But you think that it might have changed, like when I had my son, like I would have been experienced from the first time. But you know, the whole surroundings of both births was completely different. And the second time round with my son, that whole process, the whole 9 months, the whole labor process, all of that, without going, it was the most beautiful thing. Like the first time I was scared, dead scared, like I don't know what I'm doing with my life. But because I was prepared, and solely because of Islam, it made the whole process the most beautiful thing that I've ever witnessed in my life. It was beautiful, man. From the beginning to the end, even now, it's amazing. It's different this time round.
Wow.
Not because he's a son or a daughter, but because this time I have more knowledge.
Right.
More understanding of religion, and I have a more, what do you say? Like, I'm more accustomed to being the way I am now. Like when I had my daughter, it was all a learning curve for me. But now, it's like, no matter what I do, I try to put the deen first in it. And then so when you do that, everything else have you noticed? Like everything else just seems to just fall in place around it. It's crazy. You can't explain it, man. You just have to live it.
SubhanAllah. Guys, I'm just going to take a little pause in the middle of this episode just to shout out our sponsors. Guys, Wahid Invest are revolutionizing halal investing. Wahid Invest is a platform where you can put your money and have it make money, but in a way that is Islamically ethical, in a way where it's not accumulating interest. So you're not putting your money into a savings account and accumulating interest. You're putting it into a place where they're investing your money into halal businesses, into commodities, and making money off your money. They're doing all the hard work for you. You can go on their website and check the FAQs and see how it works. But they have an Islamic Sharia compliance board to see that their companies are halal, that your money is going into, and to see that the decisions are being made in a halal way. Definitely worth checking out. And the way you can do so is by going to freshlygrounded.com/Wahid. That's freshlygrounded.com/WAHED. Wahid have helped people all around America invest their money into halal portfolios, and now they've come to the UK. Okay? They come to the UK, okay? The UK, okay? They come to the UKK. Okay? I've forgotten what I was gonna say. The script. That's what they do, guys. And you can sign up instantly. That's it. You can sign up with as little as £100. That's your first deposit. And you get your account improved instantly. So guys, check it out. Go to freshlygrounded.com/Wahed. That's freshlygrounded.com/WAHED. Okay, let's get into the rest of this episode. Do you ever not look at your children, but do you ever look at your children? No, never. Do you ever sit there and start crying thinking about your children, like actual tears?
Every day.
No, but don't cry every day.
Literally every night.
Every night you cry.
Pretty much, yeah.
What happens, boy? Explain the process for us non-parents. Like, because I can imagine that would be me, bro, crying like all the time.
Because the tears come, like if I start talking now, I'll probably start crying. Yeah. The tears, they come from not only a place of happiness. First of all, it comes from a place of happiness because kids, they make you feel like you're a superhero. My daughter looks at me like I'm the B. I'm the man. In my daughter's eyes, I'm the man, and no man's ever gonna match up to that.
Yeah.
In my daughter's eyes, I hope that's the same for my son, inshallah. Yeah, but you know, when they look at you, the love a child shows you, no one else can show you that love, because that love knows no, like they haven't experienced hatred, they haven't experienced judgment. They don't judge. Everything that they do is pure. So when the way that they act, it's all pure. It's coming from a place of instinct. They don't think about things before they do it. Kids don't. We think, if I'm about to say hello to you, I think to say hello. A kid, if he looks at you and he thinks your face matches up to a person that he wants or she wants to say hello to, they'll say hello to. But if you give them an iffy vibe, they won't even look at you. Do you understand what I mean? So that feeling of knowing that you're doing right by your kids, that's a feeling that makes you so happy. You have to cry about it because you know you're doing something right because your kid loves you back.
Do you ever cry out of fear?
Fear is the main thing. Because I always think to myself,
what if this, what if that?
Like I said, with my daughter, all I think about, because I remember what I was like when I was 15.
Right.
Yeah. As a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most guys can relate to what they're like with the 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hormones, all of this in your head, whatever's going through our 15-year-old minds, we all know what it's like. Yeah. It's only getting worse. Let's face it.
Yeah.
What I was like when I was 15, kids 15 now are 10 times worse. Majority of them. Yeah. Now, I'm thinking to myself, if my daughter at the age of 15 bumps into a guy like me when I was 15, she's in for a hard time.
Yeah.
Because that guys are very persistent. They'll do whatever they want to get whatever they want. That's how it works, unfortunately, and that's in this country, in this scenario, in this society. It's just the way it is, and I don't know how much I can say on your podcast. Do you understand what I mean? I don't know if I can be completely open about it.
You can be completely open.
All right, okay, but it's messed up, innit? You know what I mean? The sex, half of the girls now that are 15, 16, a lot of them, not even half, probably more, if you look at the statistics, they're not virgins, bro. They're not. They're giving themselves up, and that's not because they want to. Most of them, some of them want to, yeah, whatever meant, but it's because men, if you look at it from a Islamic perspective, Allah created men with a desire for women, innit? Yeah? So men will do whatever they can for a woman, and women will fall into that trap over and over again. So I've got this fear constantly in the back of my head. What if my daughter falls into that trap of a guy like me that, for example, I could sweet talk any girl that I wanted when I was younger. I'd sweet talk and I'd do what I wanted, and majority of guys are like, and now they don't even need to sweet talk because the society we live in, it's not about that. It's about whatever. It's like a game now. If I don't know if you've seen it, it's like a game. People, girls are like numbers for guys.
Well, they do. There's so many like reality TV shows as well that exist that
it's just
are
normal.
literally based off of guys and girls relationships and hooking up and who can hook up with who and
it's just a number. You just tick a number off.
Leaves the island.
It's like a numbers chart. Every guy is tallying up his chart, how many girls he's bedded. And that and me,
I think that's something that's existed from day, and it's always going to exist, though, isn't it? Like, I suppose the concept of it isn't new.
No, the concept,
but it's being maybe
exposed.
Highlighted more. Yeah,
it's exposed more. The society that we're in now is in your face.
But with that being said, we're also living in a society where, excuse me, I don't know. I think earlier on I must have like choked on myself. I think in the same way, we're also living in a society where people are also speaking up more against that stuff? Maybe, do you reckon? Like
Not enough.
okay, yeah, fine, agreed. But when a woman is being objectified, perhaps it's spoken about more, like that shouldn't happen. I don't know, because I suppose it's going in both directions.
It is.
really
People are speaking
fast.
up. Obviously, like for example, we're sat here talking about it now.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of it.
But even in mainstream media, I think like there's a lot more than in the past of women speaking out and saying, I don't wish to be objectified and stuff, which is good. That's a good, that's one good aspect.
Yeah, that is.
That is slowly, you know.
But that's women.
well,
That's like our older age. You know, when like, from me, from what I can see personally from my side and what the way I'm living and the people that I'm around and the way that I see things happening from TV series, watching movies and all that, the youngsters, they're like the elder people, they're quite outspoken. Maybe because they've been through the experience of being objectified and now they understand that they don't want to be objectified. But most of the 14, 15, 16 high school, before they go into college, they're very, very, they're trying to be at a certain, they're dressing, behaving like 19-year-olds.
Yeah, but when your like role models are people like Kim Kardashian,
It's hard.
you're gonna want to be like that.
That's
I mean, and that's someone who's yeah, it's true, actually. We were speaking.
See, now
about,
Kim Kardashian may come out and say, you know what, I don't want to be objectified no more because she's 30, she's got a daughter and all that, she understands. But
Well,
let's
people are
face
gonna
it,
follow
she broke the internet by making a sex tape.
right.
That was her claim to fame.
But the thing that I was gonna say is that we were speaking with Tim Humble last week, saying that what would have been a like 18 rated movie back in the day is now
It's
like
not.
rated 12.
Yeah, it's not.
Because like we're becoming more desensitized,
100%.
which is scary.
100%.
That's scary.
Bro, you're watching Hollyoaks or EastEnders. These are prime time TV where people sit with their families and they watch, like, they're like soaps. If you watch the things that go on there, it's crazy.
When you were younger, did you used to watch? Did your family used to watch like Asian dramas?
Yeah.
Or is that not big in Bengali culture?
No, 100%.
Bro, in the Pakistani culture,
you have
it's
to watch
huge.
Asian dramas. You have to watch it, innit? I never was involved, but everybody used to get together.
And watch these Asian dramas,
and
innit?
watch, yeah, like ZTV and
I feel like that was big back in the day. Or is that still big now? Maybe because I'm out of touch. But when we were little, like there would be these.
ZTV, innit? That was the channel, wasn't it?
There was this one.
Or Star Plus or something.
Yeah, Star Plus. There was this one TV program. Because you mentioned EastEnders, I remember because it used to when we were little, it used to come on just before EastEnders, but like on Star Plus. But it was like called. Wait, Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gham was
That's a movie.
right?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah, that was a movie.
There's another one called like I can't remember, yeah, but basically it was like this family, this Indian family, and then what happened is the woman who was like the head of this family, like, and her husband, she basically died, and then it was mad because she wasn't actually dead, and then like a couple years later, so this guy's now been like got married to another woman and stuff, and like he's on holiday or something, and he sees his ex-wife who died, who's meant to be dead. And I remember we was little and we seen that, and I was like, what? Like it sent shivers up my I couldn't sleep, bro, because back then, bro, when you watch things like that, like that's like, it's like you start thinking to yourself like, this stuff probably happens in the world, like what if people are like, because the way they show stuff was mad, bro. Like there's like evil, like there's like a woman who like is in all of these dramas there's always like a auntie
That's conniving.
that's
innit?
normal, but she's conniving back, like
proper,
behind the
like,
scenes.
she's a backstabber.
But when
like
them aunties on them TV dramas used to scare me, I used to think, wow, like
It's
what if
mad,
there's
though,
actually
isn't it?
people like that? But there probably is people like
that.
that.
The 100%, man.
Oh, bro, what was the name of that
100%.
drama? So, bro, one thing I'm always getting confused about is that I know a lot of Bengali people, yeah, who like watch Bollywood and stuff, like aunties and that, but they're Bengali and they don't speak Hindi. but they understand Bollywood movies. Why is that?
No, I think like from my family's
Trying to find
perspective,
his drama at the same time.
everybody that watches it speaks Indian.
So your family watches. Sorry, it's not watches. Your family understands
Indian.
Indian.
Yeah, a lot of them
it's
understand
it's not called Indian, bro.
or Hindi or whatever it is. Yeah,
That's like saying. I think I once captioned one of my videos saying learning how to speak Afghan, which obviously I don't think is language. I think it's Pashto, as far as I'm aware.
but it's Hindi, innit? Yeah, Hindi.
Yeah, Hindi.
Like my mum can speak a bit of Urdu as well.
From what I know, Hindi is the same language as Urdu, but I don't know why they call different names.
Don't know. They've got many languages in India though. They've got more than just Hindi, innit? I think they've got.
Bro, I found it.
What's it called?
It was called Kahani Gar Gar Ki, yeah?
And I
Fam, this was a madness.
ain't watched that. No way.
Bro, basically, this. Oh, look, I'm gonna read you the synopsis. There might be people listening to this podcast like, yeah, I used to watch that. Listen to this, bro, yeah? So this was on when we were little, look, in 2000. So imagine I was 6 or something, I think. Yeah, in 2000 I was 6. Okay, listen to what happened. Kahani Gar Gar Ki is a Hindi language Indian soap opera which ran on Star Plus from 2000, yeah? Oh, wait. Where's the synopsis? Story, here we go. So the brother is called Om, yeah? Is the son of a rich and powerful businessman, Vishwanath. His sensible, polite wife, Parvati, hails from a middle-class family and is the ideal daughter-in-law. I think that was the woman who was like the perfect auntie, yeah. She was like completely calm, like a good character, I think. Initially, she was not strong-willed enough to make her own decisions, but as time passes, she becomes independent and undergoes major problems to protect her family. Parvati and Om have a daughter named Shruti. The show follows the various relationships of the 4 sons. The youngest son helps his sister-in-law overcome her difficulties. He starts an affair with his assistant. Okay, look. Oh, I can't find it, bruv. Maybe this is the wrong one.
Don't know. That sounds like some complicated storyline.
Yeah. No, well, basically what I think happened, yeah, is this main woman, like had a car crash or something and dies.
Or did she fake her death?
But she doesn't actually die, right? Alright, this is what I think happened. Oh my days. Right, so what I think happened, yeah, in this thing was that she has an accident now. I might be making this up, but actually from my memory, I remember.
Let's just make a movie ourselves.
She has an accident and then she has to have face surgery because her face is mash up.
Alright, okay.
And then all of a sudden it's a new character who's playing, a new actress is playing her. But the way they pulled it off is they basically, that's her, but she's had a face surgery to get a new face.
Alright, okay.
So everyone believes that that's still her. And I think at that point, even the audience believed that was still her. But she just got a new face because she went for surgery.
Alright, okay.
And then like a couple years down the line, the actual woman is seen somewhere. So it's like, Rod, that's not actually her. So I think she wanted to get out of the marriage or something. So she like planned this like accident with this other woman, and then they swapped lives, and she was like, or something like that.
Rah, that's some deep.
But where can I find the like synopsis here, bruv? I have to
You'd have to be insane to do that.
The show
Unless your life is complicated that much that you have to get away.
Oh man, we're never gonna know what happened. I wonder what happened in the end of that. If anyone who's listening to this knows what happened at the end of this thing, or if what I was saying is true, please do comment what actually happened. Although I must make it clear that
we'll go and rewatch the series.
Huh?
We'll go and rewatch the series.
Now I must say that watching them kind of dramas is absolutely waste of time, and like
definitely
in hindsight I would never watch that kind of stuff now. But we were kids and yeah, I just remember that being on. Yeah. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't know what we were saying. I have no idea.
What we was on? What was?
You know what? I like episodes like this, bro, because sometimes we have episodes where we interview people.
It's structured and that.
Or they're a bit too structured.
Yeah.
And then other times we have someone who's just like a friend of mine, and we can just have a chin wag.
Yeah,
and that's the best, man. How often do you get to have a conversation with two people just having a chat and
with this in the way? So it's like
with microphones in the way so you can't see each other properly. And And there's no one calling, and it's
That's
nice,
it,
man. Like, we're losing that as a society, just the ability to have conversation face to face. So
saying that, I just remembered in our hospital I seen it, which was one of the best ideas I've seen in a long time. But they had this policy in the hospital, that our local hospital, where you go to the restaurant, you have to sit opposite somebody that you don't know
really, and speak to them,
and just have a chat.
that's nice.
And just have a chat. And most of the people there are patients.
That'd be tough for someone who's an introvert.
I don't know what that word means.
Like, that means that they're not like an introvert is someone who has like not a shy personality, but they're not outgoing.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
yeah, 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 I get it.
strike in conversation with like a new person.
No, I think it's just mainly for patients though. And it was nice because when I went in, and who was in hospital? I think one of my little cousins were in hospital, and we went, and it was this whole concept that they've just introduced. And every time I went in, there was an elderly person there. So I'd purposely go and sit next to the elderly person and just have a chat with the elderly person about it. It makes their day, man, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? They probably had nobody visiting them for days, and they're just at this restaurant eating.
That also reminds me of a sign I saw on social media. I think there's a cafe that says something like, or outside there's a sign that says, we don't have any Wi-Fi, and we don't something like that.
Oh, I think I've seen it somewhere.
It's something like talk to each other or something.
Yeah,
It's really interesting. But there's another one here. It's a really funny sign. It says, oh no, I didn't save it. I must have liked it. Let me find it. Oh, I screenshotted it.
But it's mad though. We're all like robots, man, in our own world though now, innit?
I've got it here. So there's this sign outside this cafe, and it says, I saw this guy today at Starbucks. No iPhone, no tablet, no laptop. He just sat there drinking coffee like a psychopath. How funny is that?
That's crazy, mate.
That's funny because that's like a psychopath. That's like what we would perceive as a psychopath.
You would.
nowadays.
You'd find it weird. If you saw
So
someone
weird.
in a shop that didn't have a mobile phone, you'd find him weird.
Bro, you're slightly older than me. So what do you... Because from what I remember a time where having a mobile phone was absolute luxury. But I can't... And I remember when you'd have to... if you were using the internet, you couldn't use a home phone.
Yeah. Dial-up.
Yeah, and I also remember...
Do you want to see a sign of my age?
I remember Windows 98 and stuff. But I remember like...
This will tell you how old I am. You know when
Go
you
on.
went to high school?
Yeah.
You know when you had a register?
Yeah.
Was it electronic?
Probably by the time I was in high school.
Yeah, when I was in high school, we had paper registers.
That doesn't surprise me too much because two reasons. A, because we had paper register, I think, in my primary school.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that different for me. And I think we still have paper register at Badr, which is where we study Arabic. We still have
I
paper
went to high
register.
school and we had paper registers. We were the last sort of era to have paper registers. Yo, man,
when we were in high school, that was the period when they started getting smart boards.
Yeah, we had them projectors. You know where you...
Yeah, the OHP, overhead projector.
Yeah.
We had them.
We had them.
We had
in
them,
high
and
But that lasted my whole high school.
that was like my whole primary school.
Yeah, that was pretty much my whole high school. Unless I went to my high school doesn't exist no more, by the way. Unless it was just a completely dead high school, but that's just been broken down or whatnot. But we had overhead projectors and that through our high school.
Bro,
We actually had to write.
I think you used to have to do that in school. Do you reckon they just type everything now in schools?
Yeah,
Nah, they
most
must
likely. Your
work.
essays and stuff, you're typing them now, innit? You're not writing them in.
Really?
I didn't have a computer, man.
No, but when you're in class, surely you write still. That's interesting.
We'll have
I
to
don't
ask
know.
someone that goes high school now.
Yeah, because I haven't been to high school. When was I in high school? Probably 2010, 11, 9. I think I started high school in 2005, so I haven't been to high school in about almost 10 years.
I don't even want to know. I don't even want to count.
No, that can't be true because I'm 24. When do you finish high school?
16.
Yeah, it's
About
about
that
8
time,
years.
yeah.
I wonder if they do. I wonder if they do their lessons on laptops now. Maybe, innit?
They
Maybe
might
every
do.
classroom has a laptop.
No, I don't know anybody that's in high school, so everyone I know.
That's
doesn't.
reassuring, to be honest. It'd be weird if you had a friend that was like
No, I'm talking about my little brothers and
12
that, man.
years
Come on.
younger than you.
Yeah. Like I'm talking about my little brothers and cousins and that. They're all in college and uni now.
Yeah,
Nobody
at
that-
uni you use laptops and stuff, I suppose. Did you go to uni?
No.
Really?
That's a subject to talk about, isn't it?
You don't talk about it.
That's a great, amazing subject to talk about.
Got to be careful talking about this subject because a lot of our listeners are in university.
Yeah, that's good. I advise everybody to go to uni.
Really?
Yeah.
You like that? You're that guy.
I'm that guy.
Because
Not because-
you experienced not going to university
Yeah.
and you found it hard.
Yeah. Just purely because I don't
Bro,
believe you have-
£9,000 a year. Come
that's-
on.
Yeah, that's obviously that's the financial side to it. But
But I suppose you don't see it. If you believe that student loans are fine, then I suppose you don't see it really come out and it just gets paid off slowly.
Unless you're earning a stupid amount, and even when you're earning that stupid amount, it's getting taken off like a bit of tax, isn't it? So
Yeah, we'll come off like 100 quid a month or something.
yeah, it's not that bad. But from a personal standpoint about uni, like I don't really believe in a structured education. Probably because of the way that I grew up and I just lived my life and I learned myself and I educated myself, and I'm not that educated, to be honest. if I'm totally
What's
honest.
the end goal for you? Do you like in an ideal world to be successful? Because obviously everyone has to be financially successful to a point,
Yeah.
so that they can obviously like on Humberdic, you got a whole family and everything. But I say that like I just like push it to the side. You got a whole family and everything, but everyone has an ideal way they would like to be able to earn their living.
Yeah.
And what's that ideal way for you? Would it be through Nasheed? Well, not Nasheeds, but through your through your art.
No. Ideally, I want it to be there. That is something that is a dream of mine. Yeah, something that I aspire to do. Something that if it blows, it blows.
Okay,
It's
but
one of
what
them.
would be is that ideal then? That's your ideal scenario.
That's my like. If there's such a thing as a perfect, if I could go around the world, speaking my mind, and getting paid for it, there's nothing better than that.
Well, if there's ever going to be a time where that would be possible, it would be now.
Yeah. So that's why I'm going for it.
Very realistic.
If it happens, it happens. Yeah. But at the same time, I also believe that you shouldn't pin your hope. Yeah, it's good to dream, but you need to have a backup. Because not every you have to have a plan A. A lot of people go off this thing now where your plan A is your plan A and you just go for the plan A, and no matter what you do, you just stick that plan A up. But when maybe because of my personal circumstance, because I've got a family, because I had a family from a young age. My daughter was born when I was 22. So, you know what I mean? Like, I've always had this thing which has stopped me from chasing my dream. Do you understand what I mean? Because I need to have a specific income every month to provide for my family. So I've had to work no matter what. Like if I chased this dream that I'm chasing now, if I chased that a few years ago, I'd be struggling.
Yeah, and I think that's really inspiring to hear that, bro, because I think there's this like misconception that to chase your dream means that you have to only do that and say to everyone, no, you have to believe in me, and literally not be able to pay your bills for like 3, 4, 5 years until you get there. That's not realistic. If you have to pick up part-time jobs on the way and stuff like that, that's a clever way of doing it.
Everyone's got bills to pay.
Yeah,
We all have bills to pay. You can't stop paying your bills for a few years. You can't. It's impossible. You have a house, you have to pay rent. Yeah, you can't unless you're staying at your mum's house. That's different. Yeah, your mum might let you off the rent a little bit, but even then, you still have to help your mum out. How's she gonna cough out £200-300 extra every month?
Yeah, or even if your rent is paid for, but you have to get by.
Yeah, you have to survive. You can't. Like for me, I really wanted to do what I'm doing now. 3 years ago, we met 3 years ago. That's when I started the journey. Yeah, and when I started the journey, I was like fully focused on doing that. But it always reminds me that the ayah in the Quran that we plan and God plans and God's the greatest of planners. Yeah, I wanted to do that 3 years ago. I was proper ready for it. I went into the studio ready doing it, but then it didn't work out. At that time, it wasn't right. The group thing didn't work out. Yeah, I ended up going Umrah. I ended up getting married, and then it took me because once I got married, I realized to myself that, you know what, I'm married now. I've got to set the foundations of my marriage that has to be strong before I start to chase a dream, because I need my wife to back me,
Did your marriage happen straight after Umrah?
pretty much.
Did
yeah.
you meet her before then?
So we spoke. Do you want to know about my marriage?
If you're willing to talk about it.
Yo, man, I had the most boring, like, whole scenario. There's no, like, we didn't meet in any specific way. It was through family. Like, her friend that went to madrasa with her husband, and it went like that. We spoke about 4 times.
But like, when you went to Umrah, did you make dua to get married and then
Yeah,
you got married?
100%. Yeah.
Bro, how amazing is it that when you got Umrah, your du'as really do get
Bro,
accepted?
every single dua I made at Umrah, no word of a lie. The first time I went, every single dua that I made has come true. Every single one without a miss.
Bro, should I tell you what? Same here.
The second time I went, because I went
Yeah.
with my wife a few months ago, in April I think I went.
Yeah.
What I prayed for then is also coming to light.
SubhanAllah.
SubhanAllah, it's mad. Anybody watching this, whatever money you've got spare, save it and just get out there. Just get out there, just go and just experience it. Because once you experience that, when you come back, bro, like, all you want to experience is that again. You know that feeling of your du'as being accepted and you witnessing it being accepted and you living to see that come true.
SubhanAllah.
It's mad. I can't go into every single one in detail, but every single one.
Bro, what's also mad is that sometimes the dua will come true and you forget that that is the answer to your dua because that something will just happen. And then, like, months down the line, you think, hold on a second, remember that thing that happened a few months ago? I actually made dua for that, like,
It happened.
and it happened, or I didn't clock that was the answer to my dua.
That's it, it's mad.
And then that feeling is like, oh, it gives you shivers. It's like, whoa.
It's mad. It's mad. It's the maddest. It's the maddest. But to be honest, yeah, I didn't need Umrah for that to happen as well, because du'as that I made previously as well, just in general, they also came true as well. Whenever I've, from my personal experience, whenever I've sat and made a dua, and I feel so bad because I don't do it as often as I should do, man. But when I've sat down and I've actually sincerely opened myself up completely and I said, look, I need this to happen. I really need this to happen. If it's good for me or if it's beneficial for me, please make it. Wallahi, every time it's happened. Without a miss, Allah's never, ever, ever turned me away He doesn't turn anybody away anyway.
Of course.
Yeah. But he answered it. Like, you know, some people, when some things they answered in a delayed time, or you may not get what you want, you might get something different. But everything that I've asked for, from what I can remember in the last 5 or 6 years, whatever I've asked for, whatever scenario I've been in and I've prayed, the outcomes happen straight away, bro. Straight away. It's the mad, like, I'm sitting on, I'm smiling.
Nah, bro, it's mad, bro.
I'm thinking
sometimes
I'm thinking about the things that have happened in it, and I'm just thinking, yo, subhanallah, man, that. I
Bro,
don't
exactly
deserve
what
it,
you're
like-
going through, I go through sometimes. Like, I'm speaking to someone, and often it's my wife, and I'm like, hold on a second. And I started smiling. I'm like, subhanallah. You're smiling because you're like, it's like, oh, Allah, like.
You get this feeling that he's looking after you, innit?
Yeah, man, that's what it feels like.
It feels like Allah's, like, even though, like, deep down, yeah, I know that I can do so much more, bro. Like,
No, it's true. And we're sinners, like.
Like, we can do so much more.
Of
And
course.
just like, I think to myself, just because I'm praying like 5 times a day and I'm going out of my way to prioritize him in certain aspects of my life, still there's a lot to do. Just because I'm doing the bare necessities, he's doing so much for me.
Bruv.
And that hope of that, imagine I put my all in and more in, just imagine what he's going to do for you.
He
then.
also shows that he really is Ar-Rahman, bro. He's the most merciful, because
Subhanallah.
only someone who is that merciful can continue to give you more and more and better after you're still disobeying him. You know what I mean? Like, day to day, akhi, like, we commit sins.
Every day.
Imagine if I asked you to do something and then you not only didn't do it, but you did the opposite, for example.
Yeah.
I would feel so disrespected, like, and at the very least, I'd be upset with you.
Yeah.
But I'll probably, realistically, would not do anything for you.
Never
Now, I mean,
again.
I'll learn my lesson. And obviously, Allah is the best of examples. Like, but you disobey Allah, and it's like He's still so merciful, and He gives you opportunities to come back to Him, and as He gives you and He gives you and He gives you, and it's like,
It's crazy.
it makes you think. You know what? Why am I sitting here trying to please people when there's my Lord who is
constantly there. Giving
constantly
it
there for me? He's the only one that's actually always there for me. He's never let me down.
Never.
Yet how often do I think about my relationship with him?
That's it. It's insane, isn't it? When you think about it like that, like I said, I do the bare minimum, bro. Like the bare minimum. 5 times. Some days I'm not even praying like sunnah. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm so busy with my life, I'm forgetting my sunnah. Like if I'm praying my sunnah, I might not be doing my nafil. Like, do you understand what I mean? And some days, like, you're missing your alarm for Fajr. It's a reality, yeah? You're missing it some days and you're waking up and you're catching up. Like, we can barely do this, yet he gives us so much for doing the basics. Imagine what kind of world he would open up for us if we do what he tells us to do, if we just submit fully to him. He'll give us everything, man. And he has. If you look at the people that have submitted themselves fully to him, look at their lives, bro.
Okay, it's true.
Their lives are amazing, subhanAllah. They got mad lives. They're not living a peaceful life. Let's not get it twisted. You don't live a happy life. There's no such thing as a happy life, innit? You get ups and downs throughout life, but the contentment, bro, the being in that mindset where you can tackle whatever you want to tackle, yeah, because you know you got God by your side, and whatever he throws your way, that's only going to bring you closer to him. Having that mindset changes the whole world around you, man. It's mad. Yo, now you just got me thinking about bare things. Umrah, mate. Umrah is the sickest experience ever.
Okay, Hajj is next, inshallah.
Inshallah, man. But the Hajj, man, yo, whatever you do, you need to get that out of the way rapid.
Nah,
the price is like...
Yeah, it's going up and up and up, bro.
Up and up, man.
Bro, I think it was when my in-laws went, it was like £1,500
My
something
mum went
each.
for £1,500. My mum went for the first time.
I'm talking Hajjak.
Yeah, my mum went Hajj for £1,500 the first time she went Hajj.
Okay, now look, £4,500 minimum.
That's like when you're living 10 miles away from the haram.
Minimum 4.5.
If you're trying to get close to the haram, a nice hotel, nice
like 7 easy.
6, 7 easy. I spoke to Muslim Bilal before. He was like, when he went, he paid $7,500.
No way.
$7,500. But he stayed in, I think it was the Raffles, Makkah Tower and all that. But yeah, but 7.5 bags, man, for a bit of comfort. Because let's be honest, yeah, we might not, like my mum, when she went, she stayed in a hotel where there was other people there as well, and they literally had like beds, like little mattresses where all the other Hajjis were staying as well, and they all shared a bathroom and they all shared a toilet and that. But let's be honest, we ain't gonna be able to live like that, and like we're not accustomed to that way. Like
true.
They just went because that's it, that's the opportunity, and they went. When we go, we ain't gonna be willing. I don't think we'll be able to. Not that we're not willing to do it. It's just that
It's tough, yeah.
It's harder for us. Because we've been sort of from growing up, we've been mollycoddled. Like our parents and that, they lived a different life when they grew up. So they're used to living on maybe sleeping on the floor and back up the poor life back home and stuff. But we handed everything to us from, you know what I mean? Toilet paper, whatever, the basic necessities of life. Our parents probably didn't have that, but we got that. So it'll be hard for us to go and say, for example, go Hajj for £2,000. That means we'll be in a 1-star cockroach-filled place, and
we've become too pretentious for that.
Yeah, like we don't even want to see a spider in the room, bro. Yeah, like it's mad. It's mad, subhanAllah. But Hajj, mate. This is the one next, inshallah.
Thareak, man, I wish we could have spoke for longer, and I'll probably say that at the end of every guest, but I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface.
No way.
And we've been speaking for 1 hour and 20 minutes.
No way,
Can you believe that?
That's crazy, isn't it?
It feels like we just sat here a second ago.
Crazy.
Man, but thank you so much.
I'm looking at the time as well. I think it's nearly 8 o'clock.
I know, bro. I need to be out there at 8 to do the show, man.
You got work. I got a home to go to. I haven't seen my kid all day, you know.
Oh, bless, man. So yeah, so thank you so much for coming down.
No, pleasure.
I'm happy that we had this episode because it's nice. Like I said, I really do enjoy the episodes where we can just have a little chat. And I don't know when this episode is going to go out because I'm shooting an episode with my uncle tomorrow as well, who's down from Saudi. And I'm thinking I might put that episode up first. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Whoever you want first. It was just nice catching up with
you. It was lovely catching up with you, man. And it's
mic or no mic, innit?
It was like we were just catching up about mic or no mic. It's the longest we've ever spoken in one go.
Since we've known each other, this is the longest conversation we've had.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah for the podcast, Zach. Thank you so much for listening, guys. This has been Freshly Grounded. He has been Thareak, but it's spelled Thareek. How do you spell your name?
Don't ask me how it's spelled. My dad chose it. Thareak.
Yeah, that's Thareak. I've been Faisal, and this has been Freshly Grounded. Remember, go check out freshlygrounded.com/shop and get your Freshly Grounded mugs.
Them ones up there.
They're only a £5.
Them ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go grab yourself one, inshallah.
Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.